No.
All right, you're gonna.
No.
She's just like wiping off the rocks.
Do you need to vacuum the bricks after that when you're done?
Yeah. Oh, she's killing ants.
So yeah, we're recording right now.
Yeah,
we're watching you commit an ant genocide right now.
Mary Smith.
So it's a vinegar-soaked rag, just eliminating life forms.
Taking them out
left
by
and
the
right.
hundreds.
We're coast to coast!
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to not do. If you're going to yell, just pull it back.
That's my last yell. That's my only
You
yell.
can yell, just get the mic back.
I will. But either way.
It doesn't look. I can see the waves here.
Mm-hmm.
That's like touching on both sides.
We're loud, proud. We are...
Loud. You're definitely loud.
We have crossed the Atlantic. We have landed.
Sure have.
We've been well established. I've been well established here for... What, I guess, I don't know. Like
well established.
15 days. Well, I think you're still fresh off the boat as far as I can consider it.
Really? I've been to Europe 3 times before this.
Yeah, but I mean in the sense of like taking a giant flight, going through the hellstorm you did to get here. Is it always that nasty for you getting here? You must have strategized better.
Well,
than
no,
that
like
before.
usually we won't come straight to the island. We'll show up in Greece. We'll land. We usually go to Athens, hang out in Athens for the night, and get the ferry the next day, so you can have like a rest and stuff. But this time we did not do that.
Well, you really screwed everybody over on that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if I did it again, I would change that. The problem is that it's so late in the year. I figured let's get to the beach during the nicest time of that we possibly can.
I'm just breaking balls. I know, like that's obviously travel just sucks, no matter what it is. So that your travel was basically it extended past like 18 hours of this hate.
Yeah, it was a full day.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's always any flight you take. I consider 24 hours lost. Even if I do a 5-hour flight, like that day's gone.
Yeah, it's a travel day, right?
To do what you did, to actually lose more than 18 hours in a day, I consider that day gone.
But
absolutely,
what
history.
I figured, so like what we could have done is we could have came into Greece, went and had a sleep in a room on whatever, and if we're sitting in Greece having a sleep, well, that's boring. If we're sitting at a bar down at the port, drinking beers and having some food, sure, we're a little delirious.
Yeah, well,
but at least you're experiencing something. So I thought that might be better.
It worked,
and we would push through.
I just can't believe
maybe it wasn't the best. I don't know.
So I met.
Who am I to know?
Yeah. So I've done so far. Me and Brianne have done Amsterdam and Prague and here, and I am completely out of endorphins.
Yeah,
I'm getting
your day today was
that was me kicking back because I couldn't do it anymore. I can't even stand the taste of beer anymore, which is pretty rare for me.
That's the first time in my life knowing you that I've ever heard you say that.
It is well. Number one, the beer here is in Greece it is completely flavorless. Everything is like a Coors Light, and then there's one beer that has some taste to it. But the problem is with that taste is that it tastes like shit. So that's your only. I
mean, it's not true. You can have a Heineken, if you want. It
yeah,
does cost you more.
Not a big Heineken fan anyway, and I can't help but be a
comes in a green
cost-efficient
bottle. I'm
traveler
surprised
anyway.
you don't like it.
Yeah, anything in green I typically take, but every can here is green too. So I guess at least I get the libido effect. What am I looking for? Fuck. Stupid dummy.
Your brain's done. Like, we're not expecting high quality talk out of you right now.
No, I don't think any of our listeners ever expected that anyway. I've gained at least one new listener.
Oh, really?
A young lady at a hostel yesterday recommended my voice for radio, and then you saw her she wrote down all the information
for the podcast. Yes, and I came out and saw Dumpster Talk podcast written on a piece of paper, being held by this young Greek girl, and I looked at it and was like, "What the fuck? What in the fuck? Why is that written on a piece of paper? Like, what the fuck is happening right now?" And you're like, "Oh, I told her about it." I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't.
Well, she said
I missed the whole conversation part.
Yeah, she said you have a voice for radio. You should get on the radio. I go, well, I am.
Yeah,
but I do like a half-assed thing called a podcast. She's she's familiar with it, and then she goes, "What's it about?" And I go, I don't know, because I didn't think she'd have any interest in listening. So I was going like, it's about like punk rock music, and she's like, "Oh, I love punk rock music." I'm like, "Oh, fuck!" So I just give her all the information. She's gonna listen to it, and I was like, "This isn't about punk rock at all."
No, I mean we could talk about it one time. We'll live up to it.
We may as well. Yeah, I mean, I could have an extended conversation about punk rock. I'm pretty bummed out with what No Effects did, but I'm always gonna stand behind them on anything they go through. But
oh yeah, that whole thing was fucked up. The one thing that I did want to point out is we've talked about the podcast a lot during this trip, and the biggest reason why is because there is fucking dumpsters everywhere.
Yeah,
and I've been here 3 times before this. Yeah. I've never noticed.
Yeah.
I knew there was a few.
Why would you notice a dumpster?
I knew there was a
before,
few, and now all of a sudden I'm like, why in the fuck is there so many dumpsters?
Well, I get messages from people like, "Oh man, I saw a great dumpster today." I'm like, "Well, take a photo with it and stop telling me about it." Like,
yeah,
just get a photo with it. Then I mean, I'm not actually agitated. Just, but it's not exciting news to hear that you saw a dumpster.
That like the photo would have been great, especially if it was an exciting looking one for some. I don't know if that can happen, but
I've seen some exciting ones. I like there's one on the road in here because you basically drive up a cliffside on a 4-wheeler or like a decent 4-wheel drive Jeep.
Yeah,
and there's dumpsters all along the side of these cliffside roads, and they're sitting on like one wheel. Just define physics sitting there, and you're like, well, that'd be a
filled
good photo.
to the brim with shit paper.
I'd love to pull over and take a photo with it, but I would cause 10,000 deaths of people just ripping through this area, just insane Androsians.
I think we need to get a picture. Like I'm going to definitely get a picture of that long line of them. You know that one section that's got. You never saw that when you're driving through town. And there's like 8 of them in a row.
I guess I'm just slightly less observant of dumpsters.
Well, somebody pointed it out and was like, "Holy fuck! Look at those on the way in." I was like, "Holy, yeah, that's a long set of them."
Mm-hmm.
And I guess conversely, because I remember bugging you after you'd left, and I was like, "Hey man, like take a picture beside a dumpster in Amsterdam."
There aren't any. The dumpster situation in Amsterdam isn't. There is no dumpster situation. It is throw a bag of garbage into the alleyway anywhere, and they pile up like 30 high, like it was that garbage strike in Britain. It's just
that's so
completely insane. And then they roll into the ravine or the canals, I guess. Like one guy even said, "It's like Amsterdam has some of the cleanest water in the world. Like it may be like the top-rated cleanest water, and all these canals like filter their water." But I'm going like all I see is
a bicycle.
Dude. There's grocery bags. Like there might be more grocery bag than H2O in this water. Like chemically, it's absolutely revolting.
Someone told me there's like 6,000 bicycles in that canal.
Oh, dude, the amount of bikes are completely insane. Like there's bikes. Oh yeah, you're gonna hear a goat. You're gonna hear a goat. You're gonna hear the goat shepherd. You're gonna hear all kinds of crazy goddamn animals.
Yeah, that was a little wild.
If I'd like to have them tuned up so we could hear all the atmosphere, but it's windy as shit.
Yeah, we found like the least windiest, which is still pretty. It's windy, and still like there's usually more goats. Well, they'll probably come out. We'll probably hear the guy calling his goats. We'll probably hear the donkey.
The amount of bikes. But the amount of bikes you see.
In Amsterdam.
80% must be unused. There's no chance anyone's riding half these things, but they're chained up. They're like they're there. They're structural. Like I think they might be load bearing.
Bikes locked to bikes.
Everywhere. They're all over the place. Like you're stumbling over bikes all the time. They're all chewed up and fucked. Like what is this thing doing here? It's everywhere.
So you saw the same bikes just on the same corners, like they never moved. Nobody's taking them anywhere.
Well, there'd also be like bike parking areas where you go to a bar and there'd be 400, without exaggerating, about 400 bikes outside of the bar. You know, there's no way. First of all, there isn't 400 people here, so like, where are those bikes coming from? There's no point to it. But no, okay, it sounds like I'm shitting on everywhere I've been so far. I've loved.
What was your favorite part of Amsterdam? Highlight of Amsterdam?
Oh, easily the red light district. It's
just because it was interesting.
By far the most entertaining portion of it was that, and then there was the hostel we stayed in was like super fun, full of British drunks and stuff. I love drunk British guys. They got to be the funniest.
So what was that like? What happened there?
Oh, I ended up. Well, Bree went to bed one night early, and I just ended up like, I'm going to go downstairs like shoot some pool or something. I made a bunch of friends without even knowing it, And then
you do that often.
Yeah, and then the next morning they're like, or the next night, or the next night after that, they're Justin, where you been? I'm like, I don't even fucking remember these dudes. Like, this is not good. I think I started a ping pong game. I definitely got one guy laid, but she was also like a brutal clinger.
Oh no!
Yeah, and she wasn't very pretty. But I don't want to say something like that.
What if she's listening to this?
There's no chance. They don't know anything about. We told them a couple times about it, and they just said they had no interest. So there's no.
That's good.
There's no risk of hurting.
That's funny that you said you woke up and didn't know who they were, because that's exactly what happened to me at the Mykonos hostel we were at. I woke up and I saw some guy who I didn't recognize at all, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" I was like, I think he was Australian. So I can't do a good Australian accent.
With a couple of Aussies there, yeah.
And then he's like, "How you feeling?" I was like, "Well, not, all right, getting through. This is at like fucking 9 a.m., maybe 9:30." And he's like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "As Justin," and I'm like, "Yeah, he's hurting too."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'll bet."
I'll bet.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Oh, that was the most.
He's like, "Yeah, we played him in pool."
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh yeah, okay,
I was playing pool with
remember."
those guys for like I said, like let's play like $1 a ball or something, and then we started playing.
Yeah,
and,
he was like, he said, I remember this. He goes, just want to bet us money, like I'm like, Mike, I got no money. I got no money to bet. I don't got any.
Yeah, well, neither did I, but I was still making the bets. But what happened was like the queues. It's a hostel, so you couldn't expect much of the pool table.
Yeah,
really.
2 queues. That
still,
was amazing.
They're still charging, right?
Yeah.
So if you're charging for it, you should have chalk, and you should have queues that aren't like they were bowed to such an extreme degree that nobody could hit the ball.
That's good.
It was a joke because I went in there talking tough. I was going like, okay, I would even try to work with the bow so it would be at least vertical and not sideways.
Yeah.
And I couldn't hit the ball at all. And this Australian girl that was on my team, she's like, "What the fuck? You said you could do?" And that's totally British, but anyway, you fucking dickhead. You said you can play pool. You can't play pool for shit. And I'm like, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, I felt bad for that girl. That girl had 3 guys that were just following her around, just really trying to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch on to that.
Yeah, I saw this one guy just was like, Christy, get over here, Christy. And I was like, oh my fucking God, she's going to lose her mind.
There's
she literally said,
anyway.
I'm not fucking you tonight to him. I heard her literally say, I'm not fucking you tonight. Like he was like she bent over to grab like a Mickey on the table, and he got up behind her.
Oh yeah,
and then she was like, "No, I'm not fucking you tonight." It's like, oh fuck.
I love how the comfort zone quickly grew because I was like, man, this is too classy. Like you got to spend like $6 a beer, and you have to sit in the restaurant area of this hostel. We were in a hostel. This is a hostel in Mykonos, and it's a beautiful beachfront area. Everyone is between 20 and 30,
I felt old, real old.
Oh yeah, I felt old the whole time.
Yeah.
Because people ask how old you are. I'm like, I'm 49. It's just like really driving home. You're great for 49. I'm like, yeah.
It was weird when you go in there, you sit down, you buy a beer, you buy this big tall beer, and it's €5.
Right.
And if you really want to save some cash, you can turn around right behind you. There's a convenience store where you can buy a tall can for €3. And you can just go drink it, or a bottle of fucking gin or vodka or whatever you want, and and they're like, what was a bottle of gin? I think was only fucking €16 or something, €20, and you could go drink it behind the rope.
Yeah, the white trash rope.
Yeah, there's like a white trash rope. That's where the pool table was.
And but towards the end of the night or before, where you go clubbing, for lack of a better term, because I hate that fucking word. But before you go clubbing that night, you end up in that white trash roped off area, and it is the restaurants and all the classy areas are completely barren. And the white trash area is packed. Like you couldn't get a seat.
Yeah, because nobody's like, I'm not paying fucking money.
And
for
everyone's buying 6-packs out of the gift shop, like hot dose beers.
I mean, they did a good job of making that area. You can't see a damn thing.
Is it? I'm sorry.
What are you trying to?
I'm trying to tell you how to pee, but I forgot the hand signal.
Oh my God! All right, yes.
We knew it was going to happen, right?
And we're back. You're not talking into it.
And we're back.
Okay. There you go.
And we're tangled. But anyway, we were in the middle of something there. But I did want to attend to some business. Did we need to finish our thoughts on the last thing we were talking about? I'm working on it. I got it.
There you go. Well, I cut you off and was like, "Oh, that reminds me of Mykonos. You were going to tell a story about the British dudes, the night with the British dudes. Is it worth telling?"
Well, I don't know if there's a big story to tell. It's just it's more braggadocious if we were to tell it. But we were walking, me and Brie were going to do the Heineken brewery tour.
Yep.
We were walking down there. We're like, "Oh, let's stop." As you do, we stop for a beer every 300 meters. We'd stop for a beer.
Yeah.
And we stopped for beer at this one spot, and these two British guys, Brie gets her stool stuck in a sewer grate. Am I fucking up the mic?
No.
Okay.
No.
So she gets her stool stuck in a sewer grate. One guy kind of helps her weasel it out or just gives her some moral support for a moment. And we ended up hanging with these guys the whole night, and they were super funny guys. One guy was in the military. The other guy was like a drywaller. They were both from like Essex, Britain. Like I that's like almost ghetto-esque Britain, just like hardcore
I know nothing.
Britain.
Yeah, people name places, and I know nothing about them.
I think Essex is hard. I think it's one of the harder places to grow up. So one guy was in the military, and the other guy was a drywaller. And we just spent the night with him. But what happened was that he's on military leave, so he just got the tab everywhere because everything was written off.
Yeah, because it's either written off or also he doesn't ever have to spend money. So now he's like, I can blow money.
I think he's on like traveler checks. They're just like, whatever they are, just hand them into your office when you get back. It doesn't matter. So
really?
I would get the odd like round.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, stop it, just fucking stop that shit.
Yeah.
He's talking through his teeth, kind of British accent. And we just hauled around with those guys the whole time. Going to bars we had no business in, going to like rooftop bars, like 5-star hotel bars. We're just going
because this
right
guy's
up.
just catching the bill everywhere.
Well, he's catching the bill. Yeah, number one. Number two, we're just like, let's just go in. He's like, there's a nice hotel this way. Let's go this way. So we just go into this hotel, 5-star hotel, just walk right into the lobby, just like push our way past any maitre d's or whatever, get in the elevator with other people that are going up to the rooftop or whatever, because you need a card to do it, and we didn't have a card. We'd go up there. You need a reservation, go to a table. Brie is charming enough to just walk right through. She just sits down at a table, calls a waiter over, gets around, and the guy's paying for it. We just, oh my God, we ran
just assholed your way through the whole thing.
Like complete pricks, like the worst kind of tourist you could possibly be, but what a blast.
Did you at least have like a Jays hat or your Jays shirt on?
No, I tried to keep the amount of Canadian gear down.
Really?
I had no idea.
You said you were going to make
sure.
You know
what I think I had on? Yeah,
going.
I think I had. That night, I think I had my Flatliner shirt on, like a Blue Jays baseball Flatliner shirt. So,
nice.
I had that, which is a big flag. They can tell you're Canadian at least. So the British guys flag me, and I think they recognize that.
Yeah.
There's a ton of that. And then we started making friends with like too many people. It just became a bit ridiculous. And the British guy said, all right, well, we'll meet you in the red light district later. And so we were going to go to some place called Excalibur. Me and Brie go back. We crash hard, real bad. Wake up not in the morning. We wake up at like midnight. And we're like, oh shit, we're late for the bar. We were told we meet them at like 11:30. It's midnight now. Let's just dash down there.
Book it.
Yeah, we can't just leg it.
Yeah.
So we get down there, and we're all devastated because we're like, wow, they're so nice. Like, we got to we can't screw them over, right? So we get down there. We're looking for them everywhere. Can't find them anywhere. Never get back to them because we're running like cell phone plans with Wi-Fi and stuff. So we can't.
So there's no message. Did you get them on like Facebook or some shit? Or
yeah, we got them on. I got one of them on Facebook. The other one doesn't. Well, the other one's in the military, so doesn't use it. So we got the other one on there. Messaged him the next day. It's like, buddy, we were looking all over for. He's like, fuck, we didn't make back out. But he asked me to mail him a trinket. He says, like, can I get one shitty thing from Canada? You send me like a $1 shitty thing trinket, and I'll send you one too. I'm like, yeah, sure. So he's
that's
like,
awesome.
He sent me like his mailing address and stuff. I got to send.
Oh, that's gonna be wicked. You got a little pen pal.
Yeah, he says like, let's just send dumb $1 things to each other. He says, anyone I meet on vacation, I just want to like always have dumb shit to mail to all the time. So
that's a really good idea. That was his idea.
Funny. Yeah, it's a good.
I like that idea. Yeah, that's good.
Speaking of good ideas,
what's that?
A lot of good ideas are surfaced for what we do on here. just on this trip alone.
Oh, that's true.
No, at least two good ideas.
I say we workshop those. Right now we can recap your trip, my trip. So
Oh,
far.
yeah, okay.
And then when we get back, we can talk about those because then we got more content to talk
Yeah.
about. And we can iron them out a bit.
Right, okay.
Because I like the idea.
Oh, yeah, it's a good idea.
Couple of them.
We'll move on from
Multiple
that.
ones.
But there was Amsterdam.
How many nights were you in Amsterdam?
We did 5 nights, 6 days.
5 nights.
5 nights,
Amsterdam.
6 days, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were there that long.
Yeah, but we did 3 nights in Amsterdam itself, and then we did 2 nights in an RV park.
Right.
And this RV park,
I remember seeing the pictures and hearing you be really excited about that.
that was like, it cost us a significant amount more to go through this. I mean, to
go and be there
at
for
least
that.
to plan it, all this shit. We planned the trip around going to this.
Was it close to Amsterdam?
No, it was way outside. Well, I guess it was an hour. It was an hour south. It was an hour south of Amsterdam.
In a cab or whatever?
We had to cab down. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you rent a bike when you were down there for like $2 an hour, and you just rip around to other
Bicycle?
towns. Yeah, bicycles. Yeah, and bicycles are much different out here. They're these big logie machines. They're super efficient in one sense, but they're not a mountain bike. Like, you can't traverse any real terrain in them.
Yeah,
the handlebars
for ride on the road.
The handlebars are kind of like bullhorn towards you.
Yeah.
You sit up at a 90-degree angle. If your legs are toast, all the power comes out of your knees, and if you're out of juice, you're out of juice. You just pull over for like 30 seconds, wait for the blood to get back to your legs, and then you get back on them again because they're so nasty.
And no gears?
No gears. No,
wow.
fixed train too. So
wow.
You pedal backwards to stop.
Oh wow,
yeah.
Cool.
And they're not super fixed train, because the real fixed trains are the ones where like
you have to keep spinning.
Your feet are going as fast
coast.
as that rear tire.
Yeah.
So they at least have that one like click gear in there, but it's still daunting. Like if I crashed the bike bad twice, like real bad.
Oh man,
I could have got hurt real bad. There was two instances. Holy shit!
Is that because the bikes were bad, or is that because you were hammered?
I was hammered. The bikes are bad. The streets are crazy. There's lots of factors.
A lot of factors, okay.
The number one factor, I was drunk,
and
I'm riding a bike, and I haven't ridden a bike in like 10 years.
Yeah.
That's the number one factor.
I just wanted to find out the exact reason this is happening.
Yeah. But there was one where there was a bus coming straight at me, and I was like, oh, I'm sure, like, all these corners are so crazy. They're all roundabouts and stuff like that. So I just come doing this big left turn through an intersection, kind of a fork in the road, and this bus is coming at me, and I assume, because no one signals here, the bus is going to turn. It's not. And now it's coming straight at me. So instead of like turning to get down like the slim end of its turn, I just crashed straight into a curb, just head over tits, just like crash into a tree. Like, I didn't fly off the bike or anything, but it was just like I was roughed up bad. But the worst one was we went to a grocery store, and you have these bags on the back of your bike. You have a rack that goes across the
back tire.
The back tire, and then you put a bag on that, and you Velcro strap these little things to the wires in it. Bree gets out of the grocery store, and she puts all the beer in one side of the bag and tears all the Velcro strips off. And when I come out of the grocery store, I'm like, oh, you fucked that up. So I try to fix it, but we're just anxious to go, and I don't Velcro strap it on properly. She takes off. I take off after her. We're going down a bit of a hill. I brake. The whole bag slides into my pedals.
Yeah.
And now I can't actually brake because I can't. It's past the point. So now I got it was like 24 beers on each side, just smacking right into my feet. Mm-hmm. So I crashed like brutally, like really badly. Where it's like, okay, the brakes will let me down, so I just got to like stomp both my feet down. I put the bike seat right up my ass. so bad.
Your heels dug into the ground
like a Flintstone stop,
and legs like straightened out, and then a bike seat just cramming into your asshole.
And because it hit my asshole so hard, I'm like, oh, I jump, and then it just rips through my scrotum, like straight through. And I just stop.
And you're trying to keep the front tire straight, because if you turn it, you're going head over.
So now, you ride like curbside there. So now I'm just like laid out.
Is this the first crash, or is this the second?
This is the second crash.
So you're an experienced bike crashist at this point.
Yeah.
So you knew how to like control it a little better here.
This wasn't a part of my control. This was a surprise attack. Like this, So I didn't have any time to prepare for this one, and I did not handle it well at all.
How long did the whole did it? It sounds like a long crash. This one.
It was about 20,
some
probably about a good like 15, 20 seconds. Like just
Really?
of
Of
just
like, oh, fuck, what about- I gotta-
the seats up my ass, and then I'm like, I jump back up, trying to jump back up, and then now to my balls, and I'm just hurting real bad, and now I'm just trying to fall over to the right so I don't fall over left into traffic. And I like fall over in front of a bench, and then another lady behind me in a bike as I get around, and I'm just like laying there in pain. Breeze, I don't know, a quarter mile ahead of me or something.
It has no idea
Has
that
no
you're
idea that I'm
just
crashed, and I'm
about to
just
die.
laying in the fetal position next to a bench, just like dying in front of some store that like I don't know what store is what. So I'm like, can I go in there and get an ice pack? Is this a pharmacy or is it a barbecue joint? Like all the fucking I don't know.
You can't read a goddamn thing.
Yeah, so I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna sit here until it feels like someone's not holding a lighter to my balls. Oh my god!
And so this is on the way to the RV park.
That was when we had the RV park, and you'd take a bicycle like in and out of the grocery store to get beers and stuff. But the RV park, what a fucking letdown that was! It was such a bummer.
I heard that it's like,
give
from
the
what
name
you
out
told
of it.
me, it just wasn't for you guys.
Well, yeah, it was for like brutal stoners. It was.
If you were a huge pothead stoner, that's the place to go.
Yeah, if you want to get fucked up on Ativan and then dump bong water down your throat at the same time, this was the place for you. I was walking around being like, does anyone want to do anything? Like,
And some guys like mushrooms.
There was guys that never spoke a word there. We were there for 2 nights. There's guys that never spoke a word that just literally laid in the grass in front of their trailer. And I'm talking like it was like a 5x5 space of grass.
Oh my god!
And they would just lay there. They never moved. They never did anything. And there was like so much of that going on. I was like, what? It's fucking bummers. And everyone was way younger than us. So I'm like, well, these guys know how to party. No one knew how to do anything. So there was 4 fridges. Me and Bree filled them with beer.
Yeah.
And like, just go grab a beer if you want a beer. Like, hang out with us.
Like you're offering free beers.
Just for some company. Because we've been together at this point for like 3 days.
Yeah.
We haven't run out of conversation by any sense, but we're going like let's socialize.
Let's get a raise. You're going.
As we typically do. Yeah. And like, no one's up for it. Nobody. There was one Australian guy that sat down and hung out with us for a bit, but he was gassed out.
Yeah.
And then there was another group of 4 we would talk to, gassed out, and they even like asked me to leave at one point. They're like, look, we're just trying to relax at this point, and we're sorry. I'm like, it's fine, I'll leave you alone. So that was
the RV park is a relaxation park.
Yeah, if Bree was awake right now, I'd ask what the name it was, but maybe in the future.
I mean, if you Google search Amsterdam RV park, you're gonna find it.
You'll find it. It's called like Happy Place or it's called Lucky Lake. It's called Lucky Lake RV Park.
How were the accommodations?
They're fine. They're little. Okay. They're little like 4x10, 4x8 little RVs.
What color was yours?
Ours was navy blue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Ours had a pirate theme inside it. Everyone's got a theme.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we had a pirate theme. We had those little Playmobil guys.
Okay.
Remember the Playmobiles?
Yeah.
It was all pirate guys, all like not just glued, like cemented in. Because I guess some prick would steal shit.
Yeah, steal.
But like got like swords in their hands. That's super glued in. Like you couldn't pick anything. Not that I wanted to.
Did you take some pictures of that?
Probably.
Yeah, we should post one up.
Yeah, we'll put some up. I took a lot of pictures of the outsides of the RVs because that was what was really. It was absolutely beautiful. And I think what just happened is we just got a bad run of characters through there, and that were just super dull.
Yeah.
And one thing they don't tell you about Amsterdam and all the blogs, every blog, there's fucking wasps everywhere. Like I'm like,
oh god.
Maybe
I won't go to Amsterdam.
Dude,
man.
There's never not a wasp.
I
in your
fucking
face.
hate them.
Dude,
I hate them.
And they're so threatening. The way they dart side to side in between your eyes. There's the goat again.
Yeah.
They dart side to side in front of your face, and I just get up and run. Like,
yeah, I hate them. I can't stand them. I get terrified. I get uncomfortable. It gives me anxiety. I want to fucking run.
Yeah.
I don't. Like it.
Oh, I get up and dash every time.
So you left there. You flew from there to Prague.
Yeah, we left from there to Prague.
Can you spell it?
Praug. Pragu.
Yeah.
Prague.
You really want to get that second U in there.
But I learned a lot about the history there, man. We did a bus tour
Oh, nice.
Which I was reluctantly getting on, but it turned out to be like one of the best parts of it. Prague has such an insane history.
I think you're more of a history buff than even you know you are.
Prague, the history in Prague is nuts. They've been taken over like 6 times.
Yeah.
There's a huge Nazi occupation there, and then like 23 years later, in like 1963, they got invaded again by I guess it was the USSR at the time.
Wow.
But like just violent, insane takeover for seemed like a no good reason. Like why aggressively take over a country that what's going to happen? What are you going to do? Like, you think they're just going to like, oh, well, their economy will, it's not going to work. What are you going to do with it? They're all going to be mad that they've been taken over.
Yeah.
So there's going to be an insurgence. It's not going to work. Like, why?
If
why
you were to get it, it's like,
work?
Oh, okay, fine.
I get Hitler's audacity and thinking like he was super fucking awesome, but like
that's just insanity.
He's just an insane person that was apparently they say he's smoking meth the whole time too. But
oh, really? I never heard of that.
You never heard of that?
No.
Hitler was on meth the whole time. He was on methamphetamine. He's not smoking meth, but he was on a form of methamphetamine, like
I didn't know that.
A primitive form of methamphetamine, like the entire time.
I had no idea.
Doctor prescribed, yeah.
Doctors prescribed.
It was literally doctor prescribed.
Yeah,
like
that's fucking crazy.
So it'll keep you awake longer, so you can do more plans, stuff like that. But Hitler's story when he took over Prague was wild. He knew that the for lack of a better term, prime minister of Prague was in very poor health and needed injections constantly.
Mm-hmm.
They flew the prime minister to Germany or wherever Hitler was stationed at the time. To begin the negotiations on what they're going to do with Prague, because he's like, I want it.
Will you give it to me, or do I have to take it?
But he said, you got to come out here and start the negotiations. So he made him wait for something like 18 hours, knowing that every 2 hours he needed injections to basically stay alive.
Yeah.
And that he would not be able to stay awake, and he'd be like super exhausted and couldn't handle it. So after 18 hours, finally Hitler comes into the room and goes, okay, it's 1 a.m. I have a bomber on my phone right now. I'm about to bomb Prague entirely. I'm going to destroy it at 4 a.m. Will you surrender it right now? And he's like, well, yeah. And then he's like, okay, good. And just walked out of the room. And then Hitler was in Prague like 6 hours later, like celebrating his latest acquisition.
and so fucked up.
And they called it like a non-hostile takeover. It was just it was an absolute surrender. It was despicable. And then, like, Prague's been through that shit, like, 4 times before that, and then twice since that.
Oh, my God.
And now the country is called, it's reluctantly now called Czechia. Used to be Czechoslovakia.
And that was Czech and Slovakia.
Czech and
the Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, and now it's just called Czechia. And apparently everyone there's pretty pissed that they have this international title of Czechia now, because I guess their country gets fucked with so much and everything has changed.
Sucks,
they've literally had
what were the people like?
They've had their roads changed from left to right a bunch of times.
Really?
Yeah. The Germans took it over and said like, you're driving on the right now, and it caused like a massive.
Yeah,
like,
that
no
can't
one
be
could
easy
because you have to repaint everything.
Yeah,
and then they just said,
change your cars. You got to change your fucking.
And then
signage.
after the Nazis did it, they're just like, fuck it, keep it. We're driving on the right here. They just didn't change it back because you had to repaint everything.
Well, why would you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, what'd you just ask?
So what were the people like in Czech?
The people were people were okay. They weren't particularly
language barrier
friendly.
can make things a little hot.
Yeah, and you just because
I can't imagine
American
your sarcasm goes
Americans
over.
are so boorish. Oh, I just go uber polite the whole time, and it doesn't matter. Like you're a foreigner, you're a tourist, you're annoying, and that's that. So it doesn't matter how hard you try. Sometimes someone's on the mood for it. They're totally entitled to it. So Prague had a lot of that. Amsterdam didn't. Amsterdam was just like, Amsterdam is. They would speak to you in a complete American accent, like a totally dead straight American accent. They sound like a Canadian or just a Northern American.
Yeah,
and then they would speak absolutely perfect Dutch in the same sentence to another person, and then they get right back to you with that. And
I mean, their tourism in Amsterdam's been around. Like they're used to it at this point, right? Like
everything's 50-50 English there.
Yeah,
to my experience. I mean, obviously there's some tourist traps, but it was that way. Prague didn't have the same initiatives to speak English at all.
So the history was your favorite part of Prague?
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. How long did you spend in Prague?
We did 2 nights in Prague.
One hotel?
Yeah, 3 days, 2 nights.
Hostel or hotel?
No, we did Airbnb.
Oh, nice.
A really comfortable Airbnb. The guy did. He did.
Was he a cool host?
Well, we weren't. He wasn't there. He just like showed us a place and showed us how to
off.
operate everything. And no air conditioning. We had to sleep on the porch one night. That's where we had our first blowout argument. We went to one really bad bar. It was not a good experience. It was like a highly rated bar, but it was said to tourists like, be ready for what's going to happen because it's not a comfortable place.
Wow.
We would ask like a lot of bartenders like, can you recommend a place to go? And they would have that on the list, but they'd always put at the bottom of the list, be like, if you're
going here,
just be careful, watch your wallet, watch what you're doing. It's a nasty place.
Wow.
We ran into 2 other tourists, these 2 girls, and started hauling around with them. One Irish girl and a girl from Florida. And then we went over to this bar. It basically labels as like a black door in an alleyway, and it goes straight down, like deep, dark steps all the way down, and then you get to a cage, and there's a guy standing there saying, you got to buy this card, and you go in. Yeah, you got to buy this card to get in. We're like, okay, and when it goes like that, now it's got 3 drinks on the card, and you give like €30 for it or something, so we buy this card. We don't know the catch. Right, it's one of these like after hours bars that you go to in Toronto, or maybe they have in the States where you like buy rocks. Have you heard of this? Where you buy like stones?
Yeah,
they're not legally allowed to sell you beer at this hour.
Right.
That's kind of what's going on.
You trade the stones.
You trade the stones because you're not buying beer. You're just trading stones for beers, and you're paying $30 to get into the place. That's kind of how they get around the liquor law. Yeah. That's essentially what they're doing here. So we came back after 2 hours. We think we've used up the cards. We don't know. They're just giving us beers. They're swiping the cards. We don't understand what's really happening.
Yeah.
Now, this one Irish girl that we were with meets a guy, and we pooled our cards together earlier because we thought, oh, she needs a drink, but she's out of tokens, we think. We don't know how it works because there's a language barrier, so we just give her all the cards. We're like, get a drink on this. We don't get one of the cards back. She leaves with a guy she met.
Yeah.
So we're just like, well, not a big deal.
Whatever, we're done drinking.
We're done drinking. About an hour or so later, we attempt to leave. And the guy's like, you are not getting out of here without the card. And we're like, well, surely we can pay money to you and to clear the bill. He's like, well, I don't know if you spent like $200 down there. So you need your card. You're not getting out of here without your card.
Oh, you have to. That's how you settle your tab.
That's how you settle your tab. So we're like, buddy, we don't have the card. Like, a friend of ours accidentally left with it, and we don't know her. We can't contact her. We're on, like, traveler phones.
I said, here, buy yourself a drink. She left.
And I explained the situation calmly to the guy, and he's like, nope. And he's just, like, pushes me out of the way, and there's other people trying to get out, and we're like, what are we going to do? So I stand there doing another, like, half an hour negotiation with the guy, and he's like, no. It's not happening.
He's like,
you're not getting out of here
card,
without a card. He's like, go get find another card somewhere and get it with that because you are not getting out with it. What? And it's
you're kidnapped.
Yeah, so
you were.
So now I am smashed drunk.
Yeah, that doesn't help in any way.
Yeah, and I have pulled a lot of shit in this bar already. Like there's a shitty guy singing. There's a beautiful girl singing, and I know I'm running all over the place here, but. In the bar, down in the basement, it had that thing where there's like a big chain link cage over the stage.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get in. Here's the band, so they don't get hit with bottles and shit like that. And I got in, and I started singing and shit, and this girl starts singing, and she has a beautiful voice. I'm like, oh, I'm going to leave it to her. And then this idiot comes in, because he followed me in, and he starts singing and running over her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's bullshit. So I unplug his mic. And I didn't realize that this guy was like paid by the bar. And he's like, so now I'm getting like pushed out of this cage and getting like screamed at by tons of people. Like I wasn't being.
That's one way to get out without your card.
Well, no, that's the thing. They just, I would have been turned into Swiss cheese. They would have like pushed me through the fence like to get out. Like it was a bad scene, man.
Oh my god!
So like we knew it was time to leave, and there was sex swings and shit. You're really going through like catacombs underneath Prague. It was a crazy, scary place.
So once you're still stuck in here. So
we're still stuck, and we can't get the bank machines to work. Just with our foreign cards and shit, and all the foreign language on there wasn't an English option on it, so we don't know what you're deducting at all.
Yeah.
So we're like, this is fucked. So I started looking for a fire alarm to pull because I'm like, well, they got to let everybody out then. Fuck it. Because I'm really like, I'm not.
It's kind of smart.
Well, I don't know. Like they're gonna charge us like €1,500 to get out. Like I'm out like $4,000 or something. So it's like I'm not entertaining it. I don't want that guy to know how desperate I am to get out.
Yeah.
Because Bree is starting to freak out at this point. So
she was like, let's get the fuck out of here.
She's getting really scared.
Yeah.
She's getting really scared. So I started looking around for a fire alarm to pull, and I start pulling fire alarms. They're all fake.
Oh.
Nothing goes off. And all the fire doors are chained shut. And I'm in fire safety.
Yeah.
So I've had to watch a lot of fire videos in school. It's very nasty.
So you start freaking out.
Yeah, no, I'm really fucking scared. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done here. So I run back up, and I have a card in my pocket, and I try to just like do like a sleight of hand where like, here's the card. I found it. And then he takes it and pulls it back behind the cage. And I'm trying to like grab it from behind on the other side of the cage. Bree just smacks down €40 and goes like, just let us out, please. Because she's really upset. And finally, like, you know what? She's a screaming girl. Just let us through the cage, and we got out. Let Mama use a hammock. Mama's here. Man,
what would you like, Mama?
She said, no, she just wants to use the hammock. Let her use the hammock.
She just wants to come and watch, but it's really, I can't do it.
It's distracting for you, but it's not for me. I enjoy
it's
her
distracting
company.
for me, though.
Because it's true. She's judging. She's
she's like
quietly judging the whole time. She's saying there's a nice sunset?
The sunset's happening.
She's just going, she's returning a pillow, that's all. She's returning a pillow.
No, she picked it up off the ground right here. So you're trying to slide this card in behind.
Yeah.
You tried to grab the card in behind.
Bree smacks down €40. I'm trying to scam my way out of here because I don't know what's costing. I really feel like I'm getting ripped off, and I don't want to let them get away with anything. And I slide the €40 back into Bree's pocket, try to get the card back from the other side. It didn't work out. The guy ends up just bum rushing us out the gate. I think we're out probably €80 getting out of the place. And it was only supposed to cost us to be like $15.
Wait, he kicked you out?
He kicked us out, but we had money behind the desk at that point. So he was like, "Oh, okay, let's see how this counts out." And then another guy just kind of pushes us to the door and like got us out while we were like trying to figure out exactly what was going on. It's a huge scam.
Jesus Christ! Wow.
Meanwhile, they have a very cool bar.
So it was a cool bar. If all of that other shit
if that shit didn't happen, it would have been the highlight of the area.
And also the bad singer.
Yeah, it would have been, but it would have been the best part of Prague if it weren't for all that. Goddamn. It was such a clusterfuck. It was so bad. And we get back to the hotel. We have a full-on blowout because we're so drunk, and she's upset and everything is totally reasonable on her part to be upset about it.
Yeah, that place sounded fucked.
Yeah, it was really scary.
Yeah.
I was very scared.
Yeah.
I shot a quick video of the fire escapes and everything, but I'm too drunk. If I ever want to post it or something, it'd be like, well, this is a fucking drunk, emotional loser, because I was really freaked out.
You're like screaming like, what the fuck is that?
Well, because I said like smash the glass to get the key, right? So I pulled the fire alarm and I'd smash the glass and there's no key in it. And I was like, holy fuck, they're getting away with everything. And then like I'd push the bus bar. The bus bar is like that thing that that schools have everywhere. Push that. It's chained behind. It
doesn't open.
No, it was chained. Chained.
Christ.
2 of them I found. Chained shut. Like this is
no alarm, no sound.
You would die. If there was a fire in there, everyone was dead.
Guaranteed. It's fucking terrifying.
Guaranteed. Yeah, because it's all just like it's catacombs. It's small. It's like 3-foot wide hallways everywhere.
Like you're single file out.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah. You wouldn't. No one would survive in a fire in there. Yeah. Maybe I don't know what would burn. Like a couch would burn, but the walls don't burn. They're all made of stone. Everything's like 200-year-old stone, so nothing's really burning. But if one couch is on fire, the fumes would kill everybody in there.
Yeah, it would suck the oxygen out.
Yeah. So
that's fucked up.
And so the highlight of the trip turned into the worst part of the trip. But other than that,
yeah.
But I would still recommend Prague, and I would still recommend that bar. Just know exactly what you're doing. Read your Yelp reviews and stuff, because we read all the Yelp reviews after, and they're all the same as ours.
Oh, really?
They're all just like, yeah,
everyone's
don't,
like, what the fuck?
don't
is
go
this?
there unless you know what you're doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, I that doesn't sound fun to me. I wouldn't do that.
No, not now. I mean,
Yeah.
I would do it again, knowing what's in store,
and not giving your card away.
and I wouldn't screw it up, and I'd be fine because
Yeah.
it would probably cost you like €30 to do the whole rigmarole.
Say the best bar you've ever been is a 10. Where's this one sit?
I don't know my best bar I've ever
Other
been
than the
to.
process.
The best bar,
Or
I've ever been to?
if you were to rate this out of 10, this bar,
I had a 10 out of 10 up until that point.
except for
the
the process of getting
out,
paying drinks and
getting out was scary.
But the bar's a 10.
Oh, it's the coolest bar I've ever been to, probably.
Wow.
And the beer in Prague is awesome. There's such a huge variety. They say it's the beer capital of the world, so it's just
Oh, nice.
everything tastes awesome. They clean up out. They keep it super clean. There's a crazy thing in Prague. There's water trucks. I guess it's a kind of a dusty city. I don't know why they do this. I'm assuming this is why they must do this. But they'll have a water tanker with a 2.5-inch hose opening on the back, and you think they're just trying to spray the streets like a street cleaner. Mm-hmm. This giant tanker truck will just drive around doing the blocks, figure eights, like a Zamboni or whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't shoot it straight down. It shoots it 30 feet behind it. Like a straight horizontal jet.
Why?
That will like blow your grandma's head off. Like it'll kill everyone. So if this thing makes a right turn, everyone on the other side of the intersection,
If there's a sidewalk,
is
over
getting
there,
their heads taken off and just like screaming and getting like, oh my god! Like it's like taking a fire hose to rioters,
and they don't give a shit if there's people walking there.
they don't get no fuck at all. And I'm like, what are they doing?
So did you see people get blasted?
Oh
by
yeah,
this?
all the time. It was bizarre. I'm like, that can't be? Is that broken? And
That's
then I'd see it a
awesome.
couple other times later. Like, it's not broken. This is their method. Like, it is blast windows of buildings. Like
as they turn the corner
with a super heavy. Like, it's honestly, it's riot jet power. Like,
That's awesome,
you would blow somebody off their feet. So
That's wicked.
Prague was interesting. And there's beer gardens. Beer gardens are really cool. Like these mountaintop beer gardens where you just sit all day long, get crazy cheap beers. One kind of food, like these like stupid meat cones that are pretty good, and then you don't do anything else. Again, there's the bee problem in Prague, the wasp and bees. They're everywhere, dude, and that'll just drive me nuts too. But I never didn't have a cigarette going the entire time in Amsterdam and Prague just to keep the bees down.
Yeah, I guess that would keep them away.
Horrific. Yeah.
So you leave there, you go to Greece.
I leave there.
You fly to Greece, right?
Fly? Yeah,
you float.
You flew.
Yeah,
yeah. It's been a whirlwind. Yeah, flew to Greece and then met you guys at a port. Oh, we did Athens.
Yeah, you did Athens.
Athens. So we did all the ruins and everything. That was super cool. Yeah,
Bree told me that. Bree was actually like talking about the things you were saying when you were like looking at the Parthenon. You were like, you talked about.
It's insane what I thought.
Do you know how many people have walked across these?
Yeah, something to those lines. I mean, when you're saying like, you see where this granite is worn by footsteps.
Yeah,
these were made like 800 BC. Like it's insane to think like I'm walking where someone that long ago in history walked. That's never happened. Like you can walk to places in Canada. No one ever actually set footprints where you're standing.
Yeah.
So there's something about that, but there's something way more just really...
It's hard to wrap your mind around that.
Yeah,
right?
you can't even contemplate. Like someone like...
And all that marble.
5,000
all that marble.
years
You imagine
here.
what it's like. Imagine that in the winter if they had a winter like Canada. Like all that marble. It would just be a goddamn fucking AFV highlight reel.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, like Brie was wearing this like dollar store flip-flops, and she luckily slipped as we walked out of the hotel.
Oh, man. And then was like, I'm going to change this.
Yeah, I'm like, you got to go change that shit right now. She's like, she got back, put on sneakers, because there's people bailing everywhere.
What time did you get there? 'Cause that's a big deal.
Yeah. We screwed that up because I remember you even informed us like get there for 8.
I get up at 8 a.m. Be there by 9. No later.
Yeah, we made it there. We did the exact opposite, and we left at noon and got there for 1.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And stood there with the worst lineup of all time, like sucking on a snow cone and just
you're drinking bottles and bottles of water.
Yeah.
You're getting ice creams. Yeah. You see people waiting in line, and they don't want the line to move because they've got the one piece of shade from a tree.
And it's €20 to get in and stuff, and you're like, okay, that's totally warranted, but I wish you just charged $200. and clean the place up, because there's a lot of work that is incomplete there. They are doing a ton of work to the place.
Yeah. Like I heard, well, Bree said it was way better than the last time because I was there with Bree.
They've been working on it since
2 years ago.
1998. They had to restart a whole project because they did like a shit job in the 1920s. They totally blew it.
Yeah.
And they sunk iron into all the stuff to reinforce it, and the iron ate away at the marble.
Fuck, really? I didn't know
fucking
that.
so stupid. You're going to put an iron bolt into like, I don't know. It was really frustrating to think of how stupid people were back then with archaeology and all that stuff.
Like rebuilding it.
So, yeah, they blew it so badly that they're like having to remove all this iron and redo it all.
Well, I heard there was no scaffolding. Like, not as much scaffolding.
Not as much, but there was still a lot.
Because, like, there was 3 sides of the Parthenon covered in scaffolding.
Yeah, there was still a lot of it. And you're just like, they're not getting anything done here. Like, you're looking at, they've got, like, ancient blocks that are, 80,000 years old. Obviously, don't have that right. But they're, significantly, they're historically significant blocks. And they're just sitting on shitty 2x4s that have been, like, weather rotted for what's obviously
and also
years.
these stones are, like, they're that old.
Yeah.
But they're also fucking probably, like, 14 tons.
Oh, but there's small ones, too. There's ones that are, like, cinder block size.
Yeah.
And they're sitting on 2x4s stacked on skids, and you're like, just get the fucking job done, man.
Okay, now you say that,
I
and
know.
you're like, why are they not working on it? How hot was it, and what time of the day? Like, they're not working on that at 1
Look
p.m.
at what they built in 500 BC. Like, if they can pull it off,
didn't do
then
it at
we
1
can
p.m.
do it. Yeah, but
They
we
didn't
can
do it
it
at
now.
1 p.m.
Get the job done, guys. It's important. I know your economy's struggling. Get it done. It's an important thing. There shouldn't be
not a small job though.
No, I get that. So throw some money at it. Throw some people at it. Get it done. Cut the tourism off for a bit. Charge, instead of $20 a head, charge $200 a head. It's worth it to go and see that stuff.
It is a really good thing to watch.
To walk through, and despite the fact this is like, do not touch the marble. When you're walking through, you're actually touching like the marble pillars that, like, archaeology or architects have been like recreating
trying to
ever since.
Yeah.
And you can walk through and actually touch that stuff that somebody carved that long ago with just stone and hammer.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think you can touch that, despite the fact that the sign says don't touch. I'm touching it.
I touched one.
Oh, yeah. I touched one, looked down, said don't touch. Like, well, at least I got my one touch in.
Yeah. I have touched one.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you got to see that, because I think everyone needs to see that.
Yeah.
Did you go through the Placa?
Is that the...
That's all the garage door, like, shops and stuff, like alleyways of shops.
Yeah, I did that. That's not a thrill ride for me, though. That's just... I have more walking rage than I have road rage.
Oh, okay.
If someone stomps dead in front of me, like, while walking, I'll just go like this, like, let them know, like, that's rude. Like, or people congregating. If there's, like, 8 people that just, like, stop in the middle, like, there'll be a huge traffic jam of people, and there'll be, like, this dipshit family just standing there to have no idea the havoc they're causing.
By just standing there trying to figure out where they're going?
Oh, yeah.
That just drives you nuts.
I chinned a guy. I put my shoulder into a guy's chin at one point. I was just so I was so frustrated. But he was being a complete idiot. He just stopped dead in front of me, turned left, and started looking at his phone. Like, typically, you would just go like this. You would look behind you, then you take like 3 paces to your right, get out of the way, back up, put your back to a wall.
Yeah. Okay.
This guy stopped dead in front of me, walked to his left, went sideways like a crab to his left, sideways to his right like a crab again, still looking at his phone. He finally turned left, and I just shouldered him right in the chin.
That's full on walk rage, man. Well, that's a serious walk rage.
That's a lesson learned too. I'm sorry, but that's
do you think he learned this lesson? Do you think he knows why that happened?
I think he knows why it happened. I think, well, you know what? I don't think he'll ever learn anything because he's a fucking idiot. Like, there's so much of that, man. There's so much of that. It was
and then is that the night, so after the Parthenon, is that the night you got obliteratedly drunk and filmed a video and sent it to me?
You know what? I wasn't that drunk in that video. I wasn't that drunk in that video. I was just bored.
We'll get some opinions on that.
I'm
posting that.
You're posting it?
At least a clip of it.
Yeah, no, go ahead, post the whole thing up. I was pretty bored. I was just more bored. We I was obviously drunk, but I wasn't like nasty. But I was like, well, I'll send them a video. It'll be a funny thing. Because
we landed in Greece.
Yeah.
I turned my phone on. I'm like, okay, I should let Bree and McDean know that we're here and find out what their plans are, where they're going to be, because we were going to meet up later that day. And I message you. I'm like, hey, man, just landed. We're headed here. And you, all caps, 3 words, check your email, !
Yeah, because I sent it to you every other way I could, but Wi-Fi sucks.
Check your email.
Yeah. But you know what you should do? You should interject the audio of it. Okay,
into this?
Yeah, see if you can just okay, so here's the video, here's the audio now.
All right, yeah, we can throw it in right here.
All right. So there's.
I don't know if I know how to do that, but we'll see.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
Yeah, we'll try to figure it out.
Yo, motherfuckers, check out this sweet motherfucking party I'm at. Yo, it's so sick. I'm at this party in Greece. We got DW on the TV, checking out the North Syrian conflict right now going on. Hot as fuck. We got Brienne looking hot as shit. She don't stop. She never quit. We got boom, extra pillows and shit. All kinds of duplicate sheets. We got all kinds of sheets and shit. We got all these fucking clothes and chairs and shit. We got fucking all the beers are empty. We got everything that's fucking sick. We got motherfucking aloe gel. It's fucking sick as shit. Why aren't you in Greece, yeah, bitch? Why aren't you in Greece, yeah, bitch? Check out this, bitch. Why aren't you in Greece, yeah, bitch? Check it out.
Stop.
Yeah, man, you better get here. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that was mostly just like boredom. I think we had to crash at like midnight that night, and just like, well, we have to get out in the morning. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to see if I can figure that. It might not be there, but I'll put the video on our Instagram at Dumpster Talk. So
yeah, okay, good. Yeah, because the only reason it's not uploaded there in the first place is because of using Wi-Fi in foreign countries.
I'm here. I'm in Greece for another 2 weeks.
Holy shit, eh?
Yeah. It's awesome.
You're not going. We're going to
Athens with you guys.
For a bit. Yeah.
Well, and then you guys fly out the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to Kate and I are going to Santorini for 2 nights.
I don't want to go home.
I could see how sad you are.
Well, it's just there's got to be a job for me out here. What am I doing in Canada? I'm not.
You know what I love?
I
love that you see like. Because I think that the biggest question for everybody that knew you was you were worried about hating it, not really being into it, being like, I am doing this because Bree wants me to do it, and I should do it, so I'm going to just do it. But seeing you here, you're like, I love it.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely dig it.
Like the lifestyle, the place, the whatever.
And I can live with the climate easily, too, like because everyone's like... our other friends here being like, I can't go outside today, it's too hot. I'm just like, I'm in jeans and like a plaid shirt, and I'm not even gonna have a bead of sweat on me. Like I'm fine. I can live in this climate, no problem.
There's days. It's not always like this too, right? It cools down in no matter
how cold
winter.
it gets here, it's not gonna matter. Like
it's not Whitby. Well,
I can't do the minus 30 in Canada anymore. I can't do that. Honestly, I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I can't stand it. Like I get like a seasonal depression from that for sure.
I know. What fucking sissies we are though with that shit.
Oh, it's just fucking crazy.
Like imagine like the real problems people had and we're just like, we have seasonal. It was seasonal activated disorder or something. Seasonal.
I don't know what it's actually called, but I just know that I'm
SAD.
like, holy
I know
fuck.
What is it? The acronym for it is SAD. SAD. Seasonal affective disorder. That's what it is. And it's just.
Yeah, I never actually looked it in. I'm sure I'm not like full on. Well, I don't know what the.
I'm sure you're not full on. I don't want to discredit anyone that actually has it full on.
I know that like when I know winter's coming, like we've talked to some people back home and they're like, it's getting cold, and I'm like, shit, we missed, like, summer's over. When we get back from this, summer's over.
Yeah,
that just makes me sad.
Bree's back to school. In 3 months, I'll be parking my car in a snowbank to go and do shit that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So
after we met up with you, we got hammered at the port. We met a dude who was giving us free beers. I mean, we were there.
Guy.
We were there from 9 a.m. until.
Who was that guy named? Like Gino or Domino?
Dimitri.
Or Dimitri.
Yeah. Tackies. That guy was fucking hilarious. Maybe I'll post a picture of that guy. I got a picture of him putting his shirt on because when we first got there, he had his shirt
shirtless,
off.
Yeah.
He had his shirt off. And he was,
Yeah, I think the first one
he's like, euro, and we're like, cold beer. He's like, oh, cold beer, and he just starts pouring. He had me and Gore just pouring our own beers. He's like, yeah, just help yourself.
But he was also like, I saw him refill Gord's beer when it was like it was only 1/4 empty.
Oh yeah,
and he just filled it back up for him. We're like, well, how is he going to charge for that?
We're still not sure how the bill worked. I mean, we definitely got our money's worth.
I did hear a rumor that his sons showed up and were chewing him out for like giving away all of his shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we should have called it quits before his son showed up. Mm-hmm. But we tipped him well, and it was fun.
Well, tipping well
tipping
here is pretty easy because it's like a toonie is a good tip. I mean, a $2
€2. Yeah. We tipped far too much there. We gave him like $35-$40 or something tip, and he handed it to his wife. His wife was smiling ear to ear, and she came over and kissed us all on the cheek because of it. So I mean, it was made to say. I forgot to tell everyone not to like that. Like a normal tip for an entire table of like 7-8 people is like €3 or €4, maybe €5 max. And I didn't say anything, so we ran up a $200 bill, which is normal, and you tip, €5 or something, and everyone tipped like crazy, and so he left right then. He probably went out and bought himself something crazy. Good. Oh, he gave me a ride to the Wind cell phone store to get a SIM card.
Yeah, I got a photo of that, yeah.
He was like, oh, I'll show you where, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then he walks out in the street, fires up his scooter, and he's like, hop on. And I'm like,
just half duct tape, scooter.
Half duct tape scooter. He's fucking like, I don't know how many beers he had before we got there, but I knew how many I had, and he was having half of them with us. And he's just like, hop on. And I was like, oh fuck, I'm doing this. All right.
Yeah. That's a bonehead traveler's move, I think, when you did. But again,
he got me there. He translated the entire time I had to be there for me, just to help me get those 2 SIM cards, which was awesome. Best thing I did. Not the best thing, but it was good. And then, so we came back, met up with you. We got on the ferry, and we finally came back here. How have you liked Andros so far?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, what's not to like? It's easily the most picturesque place I've been.
Yeah.
I mean, the other places are architecture. This is just like the landscape alone is just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anything about how to operate a dirt bike, but I was like, I just want to have like a high-powered dirt bike and just rip across these mountains. They're crazy. Yeah. Just to have mountains around me again is like, it's nice to see again. I lived in BC for like those 2 years or year and a half or something, and like I didn't realize how much I missed having mountains around in the landscape and not just some shitty streetscape of Toronto. Yeah. It's important.
It's a cool landscape. It's a nice place to be, and there is like, Kate talks about. There's like an energy of this fucking island. It feels different. Like we went to Mykonos for a night, and like that, just the people, the pace, the difference of being there and being here. It's not the same. They're both Greece, but like worlds apart.
It's a modest living if you want to live here. I think, because that's the thing. You have to. You're not buying a drone every weekend or something, or doing some dumb shit. Like you're living within your means by all costs. So
yeah. There's
I'd love to be out here. Like maybe being a handyman or something out here is something I should be doing. I don't know what kind of business I should be in, but
there's no one on the island with a table with the equipment I currently have.
Just, there's 4 laptops on this island right now.
Yeah, probably.
You have one of them.
How'd you like the trip to Mykonos, from what you remember of it?
Yeah, that was a good deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If I was with like 14 frat boys, that would have gone better. I think we're with a lot of sensitive travelers right now, and it was just most people were exhausted from the brew.
I know that sun was killing me that day. I wasn't expecting to go sit in the sun more.
Oh, because me and you got both the like blistered sunburns on the tops of our feet.
Yeah, so that did me in. It still was hurting this morning when I woke up, which is fucked up.
Yeah, I'm peeling my socks off and screeching a little bit every time still.
We went into Mykonos town.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was, well, for everyone else but me.
You were messed up on the bus on the way out there.
Yeah, I was having a great time, but I was completely out of gas.
Yeah.
It was a combination of a lot of drinks and no sleep.
Yeah.
And I I couldn't do it anymore. I took that espresso shot and barfed it out. It's like Bree comes to me with she goes, okay, we got to get you back on your feet. So she gives me an espresso shot, and it's literally boiling. Like there's bubbles along the rim of the cup.
Yeah.
It's boiling, and I'm like, I try it, and I burn my mouth immediately. And I go, okay, well, just give me your beer. And I dump her beer into it and slam it. and I just
that sounds so terrible.
Oh, it was horrible. And I immediately cocked back my head. I'm like, all right, run. So run what? I'm like, I gotta find a spot to puke. You gotta realize all of Mykonos, like this like town area, it's
labyrinths of fucking shops.
It's a flea market of just white. Everything is white everywhere you go. So there's no like discreet place to go and rip.
No alleyway that's not filled with people.
There's not even like drains. I don't know how the city works, and I'm just running everywhere. Even the trees are literally painted white, like 3 feet up. Maybe for pest control or something.
Yeah.
So I couldn't barf anywhere, and I just I finally found a spot that was just like not discreet at all, but there was just like there's only 300 people watching me.
Yeah.
And I just ripped out probably the heaviest barf of my life.
We just finished eating gyros.
Yeah, which were for me were really gross because you assholes put a hot dog wiener in mine.
If you could have spoken English, you could have ordered whatever you want.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't even lift my head to talk.
Yeah, so we ordered you the hot dog gyro.
Yeah, it was so gross. It was so gross.
It looked all right, except for the hot dog.
Everyone's going like, it was the exact same as ours, but there was hot dogs in it. Like, I bet other people's. Yours tasted way better than mine. Mine was just...
Yeah, maybe. Mine was amazing.
I think mine had like mustard in it and shit. It was so gross.
Well, while you were, screaming to the gods from your mouth, like would you call it a Play-Doh factory?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
serving soft serve puke into the fucking pot of a tree.
Yeah.
We were dancing up doing some shots in the only rock bar we found.
Yeah.
And the guy was we just were making requests. He was playing whatever the fuck we wanted. It was awesome.
Bree made a Summer Hero request.
No, Organ Thieves. But
Organ Thieves request.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
He was just like,
yeah.
That was
just like
funny.
in a bit kind of thing. And that wasn't going to happen. Yeah, it was a good time.
We requested Question Your Crown. I said, let's play that one. And the guy's like, yeah, in a minute.
Yeah, and that was...
I had my barf breath.
I don't like when that happens anyway, so I was like, no, that's just fine.
You got the Kevin Bacon syndrome.
And then, we had to catch the last bus, so we were out of there. But we walked down a few different pathways. Mm-hmm. We ended up in that bar. Then we had to bolt back. Like, that was it. Like, we saw maybe, I'd say maximum 15% of the...
I like that stat, too. It's like, I'm glad that's only... Because maybe when I go back... I'll get to see the other 85%.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone goes there, I would highly recommend. Like, there's party beaches and party other things. Mm-hmm. We'll get you to the toilet in a minute because
Are we gonna cut this?
Yeah, well, we're going to a beach party.
Okay, well let's cut.
We
this.
got like less than an hour.
Oh, let's cut this. I need to get some more beers in me.
But I'd recommend if you go to Mykonos, go to the town, Mykonos town. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Highlight of Greece so far.
The highlight of Greece is just the landscape. It doesn't matter what you do out here at all. Just go to Greece and where are we right now?
We're on Andros Island.
In
Batsy.
Yeah, just go here. Like, you don't need to do anything. You can just go to whatever shitty hostel could possibly be here and get a dirt bike or just rent a scooter or something, and you can just be. It's cheap. It's easy. It's friendly everywhere.
How do you like the food?
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Like, I like it just fine.
Yeah,
I'm not doing any traditional cuisine, which I wish I was, but sometimes it's risky. I don't like seafood very much either. So I mean,
yeah, they're not massive on that. I would recommend tomorrow we'll get you some pasta. They do some good pasta here.
Pasta I can make at home though.
It's different. We'll see. We'll get you that moussaka you wanted to try.
Yeah, that's been sold out twice in a row now.
That's a very traditional.
No.
Traditional.
That goes. They probably reserve those for non-tourists. Be like, no, there's a real guy that needs it.
There's a guy who really actually likes this.
Yeah, there's some
you're not you fucking dipshit.
I just want to try it.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
All right, cool. Well, I think it's a good little recap of your trip so far, and we'll talk a little bit more about how other things went or gone or not gone in the next one. But I definitely wanted to record when we were out here.
I just want to go off on that Lucky Lake Park thing for a bit more. When we record again.
Maybe we'll post a few photos of it, and then
I'll talk. I'll literally, they're running a beautiful, clean operation. Just, I don't know.
You were disappointed. It wasn't what you thought you were. You thought you were going to Amsterdam. You were going to party your fucking brains out in this RV park.
Bad luck of the draw on the crowd. I think.
Well, we'll also talk about how we were at a party hostel. And got shushed the whole time we got back from Mykonos town.
Yeah,
we got called monkeys, and we were told we had no respect.
I know. I got shushed while playing pool. I was like, "Oh, what a shot!" And the security guard came running right in my face. Like, "What are you doing? What do you think you're doing?" I'm like, "What do you like?" There's 300 people in here.
When you were playing pool with those guys, I watched you. Some guy made a shot or just missed a shot. Your partner at the time, the guy with the dreads. You smacked him in the chest so fucking hard. He didn't even like flinch. He looked at you and walked to the other side of the table.
Yeah, he's Australian.
Yeah, he just looked at you and was like, "Fuck this guy."
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh no!
Full on, like just dirty look. Looked back at the table. And then looked and then walked away from you to the other side of the pool table. And I was like, well, I just watched the whole thing happen. I was like, what a...
I run out of charm. I lose charm.
There is a threshold. There's like it's a meter, and then you hit like 8, and that's it.
Because I like to push the battery. And I'm sure I knew at the time, like I pushed it or something. Probably calmed down. But I always try to push it.
All right. Well, we'll catch up with us in a bit.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, Mama's here.
Mom is here. I'm Mike Smith. This is Justin McDonald.
Oh, yeah, and this is never going to work.